You're live.
Thank you. I want to welcome everybody tonight to the joint meeting of Community Development and the Finance Committee, May 10th, 2021. I would like to call Community Development to order. And if Mr. Stewart could please call Finance.
I'll call Finance to order.
Thank you very much, Mr. Stewart. Two items on the agenda for the joint meeting tonight. And the first item is the approval of the April 12th Joint Community Development Finance Meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Sarah, seconded by Mrs. Mitchell.
Question.
Question on the motion. All in favor of the motion, please use the voting sign aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Motion carried. Next item is the matter of a review and approval of the recommendations from the Elyria Economic Development Committee. I believe Mona is on the line or in the chambers.
Good evening, everyone. Yes, I am here in chambers. This is in regard to the annual review of the income tax agreements that we have with several companies. Every year, this is approved or reviewed and approved by the Elyria Economic Development Committee and then Elyria City Council Committee. And the Elyria Economic Development Committee did meet on April 19th. We reviewed all of the agreements and have come to the following recommendations that you should have before you. The committee did vote that all the agreements should continue. There were two agreements, however, that were not set to get a reimbursement this year, and that's just because their baseline withholdings, their withholdings this year fell below their baseline. And that was with Nelson Stud and Hydro Air. So their agreements, the committee did vote to continue their agreements and everybody else's agreements, but those were the only two that were not set to get an abatement this year. Next year, we can look at their numbers again and see how their performance is.
Okay, well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Are there any questions or comments from anybody in either committee? Okay, I'm not seeing any. I know we've done this for years. I think it's fantastic that the city of Elyria continues to work together with private industry out there and working together on these agreements because it's only benefits the city, those companies, and the employees at those companies. So seeing that there's no comments or any other questions, I would accept a motion from Community Development.
Second.
Okay, I didn't quite, who made the motion, please?
Mr. Sarah.
Okay, Mr. Sarah made the motion. And I assume Mrs. Mitchell seconded?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And is there a question on the motion?
Question on the motion.
Okay, all in favor of the motion, please use the voting sign aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carried.
Can I get a motion from Finance?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Moved by Mr. Baird.
Second.
Second by Mr. Todd. Is there any further discussion?
Question.
Question's been called. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried.
Very good. If there's no further business for the Community Development Committee, I know Mr. Stewart will carry on with Finance. I'd accept a motion to adjourn Community Development.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Mrs. Mitchell and seconded by Mr. Sarah.
Question.
Question on the motion. All in favor of the motion, please use the voting sign aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carried. Community Development is adjourned. Mr. Stewart will carry on with Finance. Thank you.
Okay, we'll continue on with the Finance Committee meeting. First item on the agenda is the approval of the regular finance meeting minutes for April 26, 2021. Can I get a motion?
Move approval of the minutes.
Moved by Mr. Baird.
Second.
Second by Mr. Todd. Is there any further discussion?
Question.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Item number 2, we consider the matter of inactive delinquent EPU accounts to be certified to Lorraine County Auditor's Office. A resolution authorizing the attached said list public utility accounts to be certified to Lorraine County Auditor's Office. Can I get a motion to get it on the floor?
So move, Mr.
Moved by
Chairman.
Mr. Baird.
Second.
Second by Ms. Davis. This is standard. Mr. Brubaker?
Yep, Mr. President, through you to council or to the members of the committee, this is standard monthly procedures that we follow, and the committee met, and these are the ones that we recommend.
Very good. Any questions for Mr. Brubaker?
Move the question.
Question's been called. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried.
Got the thing here. Oh, you need it back.
And number 3, we've considered the matter
Oh, do
of a
I?
request for the purchase of a new Sutphin fire engine through the state emergency program at a cost of $550,000. Monies have not been appropriated. Can I get a motion to get it on the floor?
So move, Mr. Chair.
Moved by Ms. Davis.
Second.
Second by Mr. Tolet.
Yeah, I have to sign it.
Safety Service Director Brubaker.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President, and his chief is here as well, but if you remember the previous council meeting, and I appreciate council and you, Mr. President, or you, Chairman, for allowing us to hear this tonight. We did have 2 engines that went down due to one had to go into service, one had broken springs. We did get the one back in service last week, but we still have the other one that's down. It may be back yet. But we have a brand new engine that council approved for us to purchase last January. That's scheduled to arrive in June, which put it about an 18-month turnaround. We have an opportunity now. There's a couple engines that are on the line in process of being built, and if council approves this expenditure, I did get the final cost, which is built into the referral of $550,000. If we're able to get this approved, and the finance director, myself, the assistant finance director, and the mayor believe that the rescue plan money could be utilized for this. If we're able to get this approved, we could have this engine, instead of the 17 to 24-month lead time, we could have this engine on site in our city by the end of December. And speaking of the rescue plan money, I will tell you that the mayor's not here tonight. He did get a call this afternoon to attend a very large conference call through the Department of Treasury and the White House, where they're going to further explain how this money is going to be utilized and sent out to the communities.
Okay. Through Mr. Phil, Mr. Tolet.
Through you, Mr. President, to either the chief, well, let me ask the chief. It's my understanding that once the funds start hitting cities, which start going out today, that it could be 24 to 36 months, so that if we don't take advantage of this right now, we could lose it and get even farther behind. Is that your understanding?
Yes, through you, Mr. President. Assistant Chief Norris has been working very closely with the manufacturer, and they have indicated that everybody will be achieving the monies at roughly the same time, and people are doing the same thing that we're doing tonight. In fact, I received a call today. This particular engine that's on the production line is due to go for paint this week. And so we need to make a decision if we want to get this painted our color, otherwise it'll continue through the production line. And as stated, they do anticipate longer lead times after this, and as the director stated, if we move forward and get them basically a hold agreement on this, it will match our color. It's just a slight variation from the current one that's being built, and we could have this, as he stated, between November and December of this year.
Very good. Finance Director Pileski, then, since the monies haven't been appropriate, but we're looking to have these funds come from the rescue plan, will we could just amend this ordinance to say that it's coming from there, or what is the recommendation for you?
Well, I think you can go ahead and move forward, and if we choose to appropriate the rescue plan money, we can do so. I assume that we'll be bringing a plan to you I think, they're going to distribute $9 million this year, $9 million next year. So whenever we get to that point, we can appropriate the $550,000. And if that's what you want to do, the only other option would be to take it from issue 6, but we've been hitting on that pretty heavily this year. So I think rescue plan money would be a good expenditure.
Okay, very good. Is there any further discussion? Mr. Baird?
Yeah, just a question to the finance director. Do you know, have they indicated how they'll disperse that? I mean, when you say $9 million this year and $9 million next year, are they going to be monthly or quarterly or all at once? Or
I think we'll know more probably tomorrow after the mayor gets off the call, but I think from what I understand, you have to apply for it, and I think it's one payment per year, I think.
Oh, well, that'd be better. We like it that way.
I could be proven wrong after tonight, but
okay.
That's what I was hearing prior, up to this point.
Up front, sounds better. Okay, thank you.
Very good. Is there any other further discussions in regards? Chief, did you want to add anything more?
No, this would be very similar to what we already have, and, the payment's due upon receipt. So we're just asking to put a hold on this apparatus at this time so we can move forward with having our paint and everything that we would like done with it, because it is in production at this time, and that's why it would move so much quicker.
Okay.
Question?
Mr. Baird?
Yeah, Chief, and I don't know if you know, probably you don't, but it just occurs to me because they've had so much in the automobile industry with these chips, and they aren't. I would assume in fire apparatus of this stature would also have chips. I just wonder if they've addressed that, or has anybody addressed that at this point in time?
I have not heard, and nor has Chief Norris reported that there is any issue in that area for fire department apparatus.
Okay, good. I hope that's true. Thank you.
So is the correct terminology for the funds that this would be coming, is that the American Recovery Act? Is that
Through you, Mr. Chair, there's going to be a committee report read where we're going to create the special revenue fund, and I believe I titled it the American Recovery Plan Grant Fund.
Okay. So I guess for the record, we're just trying to make the motion to amend it.
However, we don't know how we're going to create the departments underneath the fund to appropriate the money. So, but I guess you can just put in there to be paid through from the American Recovery Plan Grant Fund.
Very good. Does the motion concur?
Concur.
Director,
I concur.
And this is second concurs?
Mr. President, one point, through you to Mr. Bruning, considering what we're dealing with here, and we don't have to pay for it till it comes in, either way, should this be a suspension and emergency so we can get the order in, or what was your recommendation? I want to make sure we don't miss this and have to wait till Monday night to do that.
No, that's a good point, Director. I think under the circumstances, you probably want to get this done as quickly as possible to make sure you get the order in. And this ordinance, or this committee report, would be authorizing the contract with Sutphen. So I think the source of the money is less important. I think it's good to note on the committee report, but as Mr. Pileski indicated, that the actual funds will be pulled on an appropriations change at a later date. So, suspension of emergency and then noting that for the record is good, but I don't think it's controlling.
Okay, very good.
Thank you.
So this will be taken under suspension of rules and an emergency. Does the motion concur?
Concur.
Second?
Yes,
Second
I
is-
concur.
Is there any further discussion?
Question.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Safety Service Director.
Jack.
Item number 4 will be tabled to a date to be determined. We'll put that in pending items. Item number 5, this is what we just spoke about. Matter of creating a new special revenue fund to account for the receipt and expenditures of the American Recovery Act monies, an ordinance authorizing to create said fund to account for the receipt and expenditures of the American Revenue Plan monies. Can I get a motion to get it on the floor?
So moved, Mr.
Moved by
Chairman.
Mr. Baird.
Second.
Second by Mr. Tolet and Ms. Davis. Is there any further discussion?
Question.
Finance Director Plesky, did you want to add anything more than what your previous comments were?
Nope, I think that does it, just that, it's actually the American Rescue rather than Recovery, so,
American Rescue,
yeah.
all right?
American Rescue should be in the committee report,
Yes.
I think.
Does the motion concur? If I read that wrong. Second does as well.
Yes.
Yes.
Is there any further discussion?
Question.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Item number 6, we've considered the matter of 2020 permanent appropriation changes and ordinance authorizing to amend the 2021 permanent appropriation ordinance 2021-50 per the attached. Can I get a motion?
So moved, Mr.
Moved by
Chairman.
Mr. Baird,
Second.
second by Ms. Davis.
I don't believe we have any tonight.
Okay.
That's easy. That's.
I guess that's a nice one, easy one to pass. All right. If there's nothing more to come before this committee, I entertain a motion for adjournment.
Move we adjourn, Mr. Chairman.
Moved by Mr. Baird,
Second.
second by Mr. Tolet. Is there any further discussion?
Question.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. This meeting's adjourned. Thank you.
Man, this is too quick. We started 5 minutes late. We're out, 20 minutes.